But also to answer your question, I think like with the chess openings and with all of this, it's sort of getting to a point where it's a bit much. Like a lot of people think it's a bit much. Like, why are we spending this much time on remembering all these openings? But the really popular openings are fun to just start out in.
Because I think I would go as far as saying like the world now knows about the likes of Magnus Carlsen. Okay, I think he's become this, I guess, kind of real chess kind of beacon of, oh, that's the top guy, that's the top one. And you look at other players who kind of in and around. I think Nakamura as well is kind of in there too.
Yeah.
I think you got some big players. Why are they kind of renowned as being so? I mean, obviously they're grandmasters, but why are they renowned as being so? Is it the win ratio? Is it kind of the fact that they have a kind of an aura around them? What makes them so I guess famous in the mainstream world as well?
Well, for Magnus Carlsen, I think that's an easy answer. He is simply the best chess player to ever walk on this planet. Like, we're in 2024. Chess has not changed in basically 400 or 500 years now. Magnus is just simply the best player ever. Like, there's not even a close contest. I would say if other players in the past had the same resources as Magnus has in 2024 with the engines and the rise of the computer and internet and ease of access to materials and all that stuff, right? They could get to his level, but right now, simply like point blank, he is the best player ever. And he's won, basically every tournament that's been important. He's been world champion for so long, and he's literally at a point in his life where he's like, I don't really care that much about defending this title. So I think all of that people love. He's just, he's so good that he is above playing the World Chess Championships. There would never be a time when somebody's like, oh, Magnus didn't play the World Championship, so therefore currently the world champion is Ding Liren from China, another super grandmaster. Nobody would ever say, oh, Ding Liren is better than Magnus, even though he's currently world chess champion. We all know that Magnus Carlsen is like the best chess player ever. And then in Hikaru's case, I would say Hikaru is just one of the very first super grandmasters to stream on Twitch or create content in general. And Hikaru has always been a really good chess player. He's always been roughly in the top 5 best chess players. Also currently ranked best 10 to 5 chess players, and he's always played the world's top tournaments and everything like that. So even in the chess community, he was always really feared, and he's just always been really good. I think in chess, it is very much the best players get the attention that they deserve.
Because I see there are so many kind of you see so many kind of clips and things, particularly of Magnus being late for stuff. He seems purposely. It's like I'm always wondering, is that because he's just really bad at timekeeping, or is it always like a strat of some sort to kind of get in the heads of his opponent? Because they obviously, when you're a chess player, you're about to compete against the world's greatest, as you said. Do you think there's a bit of both there? Is it definitely kind of leaning towards one way? What do you think?
I mean, I would honestly just say Magnus isn't that bothered. He knows he can get away with it, so he's just chess has historically been very, very strict. It's not really the type of game where you're allowed to just show up late. In fact, they actually implemented these rules that if you show up late in classical tournaments, you just lose the game immediately, even if you're 1 second late. So chess hasn't always been lenient, but I think with Magnus Carlsen, he's just he knows he's the best. So really, what is anybody going to say or do to him, right? And he just is doing what he wants to do. Maybe it's strategy to some degree. I highly doubt it, though.
I kind of love it in a way. I hope it is a strat. I think he's so big time. He's like, you know what? I'll turn up when I'm ready. Even if it means I've got a few seconds on the clock. I'm cool. I mean, for you as well, you mentioned some of the big names that we know about. Are there any kind of ones to watch, any players that are kind of breaking through at the moment that you think are certainly worth people kind of taking note of because you think they could be up there or thereabouts, kind of with the top dogs of this world, or the ones that are kind of there very much cemented in the kind of top of the leaderboard?
I would say there's a couple of names that are always on the top of the leaderboards, and those names be people like Fabiano Caruana, Jan Nepomniachtchi, for example. They have been in the scene for so long. But a lot of chess players are coming out of India, and the ones that are coming out of India are typically really young. The current challenger for the World Chess Championships is a 17-year-old Indian super grandmaster who goes by Gukesh, and he is like so good. He's 17. He might become world champion. His birthday is this month, actually. So he might be world champion of chess at 18. And I think that would be truly, truly, truly crazy if he ends up becoming world champion. But it's very likely that he can. And I think that's kind of where chess is going, is all these really young players. And the chess world is very much shifting in a direction where India is super dominant. It used to be Russia being very dominant for years on end. And Jan Nepomniachtchi has been playing under the FIDE flag because Russia is still doing Russia things. And he played against Ding Liren for the last World Championship title, and he unfortunately lost, which is why the title is currently going to a Chinese. But that being said, as far as men's chess, like the open section for chess goes, India is absolutely killing it. On the women's side, it's still China. China's still pretty dominant, although there's a lot of Indian youngsters who are like up and rising. One of them notably is a grandmaster named Vaishali, and I used to play with her. It's really funny. But yeah, China is still currently dominating the world.
When it comes to like the chess and becoming world champion, you say like the accolade of being the world champion, I guess it holds so much weight. I mean, from a price standpoint, like how lucrative is the kind of the prize pool? Is it about that? Is it more about, you said about different nations competing, like India's on top or China's on top? Is it about kind of the national side of things, like, oh, we're currently the greatest nation? And because I can imagine as well that, I guess, players, because there's got so much history, 400 or 500 years, you said already. What are the prize pools like, and does that hold more than, I guess, the accolade of being the best of the best?
I would say, for the most part, as far as like sponsorships and all that stuff go, there's not that much sponsorship in chess. Like the World Chess Championships, I think had a prize pool of maybe $2 million, which is not nothing. Probably less. It's probably like 1.5 or something. And it's good, but that's for the World Chess Championships. On average, for example, if you win the candidates, I think I did the math, you're averaging about $120 an hour for pay for like a 3-week period. And that's not a lot. Sorry, this is just me there doing the math. I thought it was really interesting. They were getting paid, I think, $3,750 per half point. So over the course of the tournament, if you score about 7 points or something, anyways, I did the math, and they're playing like 5-6 hours they're playing a lot of hours a day. So when you like really do the math, it's not that much for a top level chess player. And it's obviously like only the top level chess players get to play in these tournaments that have these insanely big prize pools, because otherwise in normal chess tournaments you're getting like $300 per like you're okay. I played a tournament in Las Vegas where I think the first place prize was $5,000 US, and I was literally like, okay, well, this poker tournament that I'm playing the day after this chess tournament ends has a buy-in of $5,000 with a first place prize of like $900,000, and it's just like, it's such an interesting juxtaposition. Obviously, poker is a very bad example because poker is a game where you put in money to win money, but that being said, chess is just your typical game that has like no prize funding, like none whatsoever. However, it is changing, and a lot more people are interested in chess, getting more interested in chess. And also countries like India, where they have a lot of rising stars, are focusing a lot on creating tournaments and providing this funding and funding their players, and it's a big source of national pride. I would definitely say for India, winning something like this is a much bigger deal than if somebody from Canada won. And it's kind of like the same for China. Like China cares a lot more about winning than, for example, like, I don't know, chess is just way more popular over.
Yeah, well, I guess it's the same as video games, right?